Hello everyone, welcome back to theCUBE here in our New York Stock Exchange new studio, theCUBE East. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. Dave Vellante will be coming in tomorrow. We're here for 3 days as part of Media Week NRF with the NYSE Wired community. Of course, we got our Palo Alto, so connecting technology in Palo Alto to business and financial markets here in Wall Street. Our guest next is CUBE alum, Melody Meckfessel, CTO at Jasper AI. We were just talking before we came on about her days at Google. She was also featured in a story when I was writing for Forbes, Power Women in the Cloud with Google, which I wrote about. Great to see you again.
It's so good to see
Thanks
you, John.
for coming in. What do you about the new set here? Not bad, not too shabby.
I know, I love it. It's my first time on the floor.
It's been quite an interesting convergence between the technology market here in New York, because when we started theCUBE 15 years ago, Melody, it was like we had a huge New York following, because one of our big things we covered right out of the gate was Hadoop, which came out of Google, MapReduce, as you know. And so that spawned the big data revolution at that time. This is 2010. And so all the events were here. Yeah. Because only people care about big data was financial institutions. So, so when we came back, we noticed that the tech scene here is really thriving. Very entrepreneurial. If you asked me 15 years ago, would it be this robust? I wouldn't have predicted it, but I was here one week and I'm walking near Chinatown. I hear people talking about Kubernetes. I'm like, I'm in New York. Yeah. I heard Kubernetes on the street.
Yes.
Like it's happening.
Jinx.
So, it's great to have you on, because I mean, that you've been such a veteran of these waves of, and you've seen it up close at Google, and we were just talking before we came on camera, early search days, really the first generation of really engineering in the data center at large scale. I mean, Google, Borg is well documented, was Kubernetes, that built Kubernetes, and just overall large scale systems. SREs came out of Google, so you're no stranger to large scale infrastructure. AI infrastructure is the hottest thing this 2025, was last year, but now more than ever, because it has to be operationalized for the masses. Yeah. And it's not easy to be Google.
It's not.
So every enterprise wants to be Google. Yeah. So you got AI infrastructure, now you got AI software layers coming on top. So a lot of rethinking around the stack, how do I deploy it, meet the governance, my resilience profiles, these things that the enterprise care about. What's your view on this? Because you have the pedigree. I mean, you've been there, done that. Now you're in this growth market where everyone wants what you've been doing for years.
It's a great question. I mean, I've been reflecting on it a lot. Joining Jasper is one of the first wave AI companies. And I really harken back to a couple of key transition points in technology. The first one was that digital business transformation that happened in the early 2000s, where companies were trying to figure out, like, how do we change how we reach customers? How do we change our business? Then we had mobile computing, right? And you just mentioned cloud computing, and we're at another one of those inflection points. So at Jasper, we're focused on enterprise, and most of what we spend our time talking to customers about is how the work that they're doing in their organizations, in marketing, is changing. And that's business process transformation. But it's using the best of the underlying technology in service of that. So at Jasper, we are very focused on the marketing use case. Turns out every company has a marketing function, and they don't want to build the infrastructure. They want to use the best of what's happening out in the market. And so a lot of what we're doing is focused on kind of two key areas. What are the tools that they need at their fingertips to really leverage AI and get the best out of it? And the second is to build this kind of rich, what we call context layer or system of record, where we're accessing the best from the underlying models, the customer data to incorporate into the workflows, and a lot of best practices that we're accumulating on the platform. So think about us as kind of a LLM agnostic, some RAG with some, some special sauce in the middle that we're servicing for those enterprise customers.
You got other companies like Glean out there, but they're mostly enterprise search. From a search perspective.
Which search I think is going to change a lot in the.
But you have search already built into the Jasper platform.
Yeah, so we're really focused.
Let's back up.
Yeah,
okay. Lay out where Jasper is right now, because they're in a different place than they were, say, 5 years ago. Yeah. I think when they were one of the first originals, because I remember using the service to help me write some memos, content, playing with it. It was very cool. And then ChatGPT comes in, everyone thinks that's the answer, but then people are getting frustrated with that. It's same old, same old. you're taking it from a different perspective. Lay out the Jasper, give us the update on Jasper real quick, and
Okay.
what's the core product, and then I'll ask you what made you go there.
Okay.
That was a 3 in a row.
So Jasper AI platform,
Yeah.
very purpose-built for marketers. So we are focused on the enterprise team. We have some teams now with thousands of marketers on the platform. We're focused on the apps and workflows, which is how marketers do their work. So it's not generalized content. Think about, I love to talk about one of our customers, Adidas. They are launching 150 shoes. I mean, Sambas are hot right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but
Yeah.
like,
I
they're
ordered
pretty...
one yesterday, actually.
Did you?
Cisco had a build with Apple, a build with Louis Vuitton. There's
Yeah.
your own sneaker logos on it.
Yeah.
So
we're focused on marketers. We're focused on a couple key components. I would say brand is significant for marketers. Your voice, your tone, your audience, your marketing best practices. How do you take your product out to your customer? So think about, particularly in the retail space right now, how do you generate product descriptions and product images at scale to reach your customers? That's another example.
Yeah.
And then there's full funnel campaigns that
Yeah.
enterprise customers can create on Jasper. So really focused on enterprise customers.
So
We have,
retail
I
event
know.
here is huge for you.
It is.
How they merchandise their products.
It is.
Some of the technology at NRF is happening here.
Yeah, it is. And I think, if I look back at the last year, 20% of Fortune 500 enterprise companies are using Jasper for these functions.
So you guys are
retail
laser
use-
focused.
Super focused,
So
which is part
marketing-
of why I wanted to join, to get back to
Okay,
that.
so what attracted, because you were a founder of a company, you take it from 0 to 1, pass the keys to the team.
Yeah.
What attracted you to Jasper? What was the attraction? Technology, the team, what made you jump in?
The attraction was, I would say, twofold. One, I think right now customers are trying to figure out how to adopt AI.
Yeah.
So you talk to anyone at a company, they'd say, hey, everyone's adopting AI.
Yeah,
But the
really.
business value that you get from that, companies are not
Yeah.
seeing those results. So I was really excited to join Jasper to build AI
Yeah.
with customers.
Yeah.
That's how I love to build.
Yeah.
And
But you guys are producing AI
yes, we are.
technology.
Yes,
and your
we are.
customers are consumers of AI.
That's correct.
With their own data and their domain expertise.
That's correct. Yeah.
And you're helping them craft workflows? Because, I mean, again, this is just, people tend to ask me the same question all the time, which is, hey, I love ChatGPT, I learned I like it.
Yeah.
How do I actually operationalize it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it writes a blog post, you can do this, but then, okay, what's next? There's no continuity
There's not.
in the workflow.
Yeah, there's not. So if you think a retailer, if we're just talking about
Yeah.
retail, a retailer can train Jasper for its brand voice. It can train Jasper for all of its knowledge around its product descriptions, its product launches. It can also train Jasper to craft full-scale campaigns to take a product out to market. So the ability of marketers to accelerate that work on Jasper and create that kind of system of record that they can then leverage and scale to thousands of product SKUs, which means they're shipping more product, which means they're generating
Yeah.
more revenue for their companies.
Yeah.
And they don't have to necessarily worry about the context switching with AI because they just do it all on the platform.
Yeah, I mean, Jasper is one of those companies that was right in the motion of the big AI wave kickoff.
It was.
And so what's the DNA of the company like? Take me through what's it like, because I mean, it's almost historic in the sense of thinking just a couple of years ago when everyone kind of woke up to a new paradigm, basically. I mean, insiders knew this was coming, deep learning and whatnot, but like, everyone saw the ChatGPT and they go, oh wow, I can actually use now voice, I can type prompts in, prompt engineering comes out of it. So like, it's a shift in user behavior. Now user behavior is going to drive the underlying technology, but Jasper was in that crop of companies that just was on the front end of that wave. Was the decision to focus on target audience? Because you almost like have to say no, right? It's like, oh, there's so much going on. It's like, wait a minute, we could be, because it's such a big market.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like too much out there? Let's get some beachhead.
Yeah, I would just
it's
say yeah.
I would be like freaking out, like, let's do 10 things.
It's important to be able to say no to some things.
Yeah.
I would also say at Jasper, we're saying yes to a lot of things.
Yeah.
So the things that get exciting to me about building technology, I would say multimodal capabilities. So this ability to bring images, create and edit images in your marketing content. to bring in video and audio. It's all about reaching the customers. The ability to personalize that, right? To personalize that content. The ability to integrate in with enterprise data in a way, because the MarTech stack is complicated. But that focus allows us to really tune the technology and not compete with the models. They're going to keep moving very, very fast.
Well,
so are the cloud platforms.
Small language models, small models will emerge. I mean, it's interesting, you mentioned the marketing. What I'm hearing at NRF this week in the conversations is listen to your data. Because on classic old school brick and mortar retail was listen to your customer and observe them. So you see someone walking around the store, they look at the price and then they frown and walk away. That's a gesture, I don't like the price. They didn't say anything, or they could say, I don't have the budget, or that's too expensive, or I want to check out. Digital's different. You got to listen to the data.
That's right.
And so when you get into marketing, this whole concept of contextualizing the data, because if I want to understand my customer, so crafting the voice, so these things that you're working on, it's interesting because if you don't listen to the data, you're
going to miss it.
You're going to miss it. So there's now an interaction between the contextual data observation that you're ingesting or getting in, say computer vision. If I got a camera up in a store and I want to do marketing around, like, do we have the right layout? Is this inventory on the right shelves? Or who's my primary target audience? Like, these are marketing kind of thinking. So you go, okay, well, it's not working because people aren't like, but that's computer vision. What do you train that to do? Like, is it so again, this is a whole new paradigm.
It is.
What's your reaction to that? Because I think that's where I see the exciting AI coming for the marketing. Is like, it's going to have a business impact.
Yes. So at Jasper, we're building a marketing system of record with intelligence embedded in it. So think about primitives: brand, audience, style, voice. All of those components are embedded into everything that a marketer would build on Jasper. So if you think about scaling, we're connecting to their data, we're layering best practices on top of that, and we're creating a way for them to look across the catalog of all the assets that they're taking out to their customers to launch products, say in the retail space, and we're closing that loop. So we're understanding how those are performing and bringing personalization and bringing intelligence back into that layer. I think with that, humans are still making important decisions. So you need good tools. You need a great studio where marketers can do that work. You need great proactive suggestions. And you need a way for those marketers to communicate with each other on the platforms. That's not going to go away. I think the last thing that I would say is agentic. It's the year, right? And agentic only delivers value when it's connected to those workflows, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's really about being in service of the outcomes that those humans are trying to create. So at Jasper, we're working on agents.
You mean human in the loop and well-defined workloads?
I mean, if you think about marketers are trying to achieve outcomes and generate revenue for their companies, how's AI going to help them? Well, it's going to help them do the work in new ways with agents and with intelligence that comes from their business. It's also going to help them see the signal in all the noise, which means looking at the data and having proactive recommendations from Jasper around how to create a better channel campaign for those Sambas, right? How to market them differently to Gen X than Gen Alpha, right? Like, if all those things are there, you have that brand consistency and you have the scale that you don't get with a general purpose AI
the game
solution.
sounds like the game is still the same from the marketer standpoint. They need data-driven insights. You're going to do the heavy lifting on the mechanics.
And they should expect that from us, right? Because we're fitted just for their workflows.
So I did an interview a couple weeks ago, 2 months ago here with Isabel from Dun & Bradstreet. She's the chief innovation officer, and they're sitting on all this data, business data. And they have, not the big banks, but they have commercial banks which aren't that very innovative. She said to me, and I want to get your reactions because this kind of thinks how the marketing departments might be. She goes, well, our big problem is internally, we don't know what we have. We know the data we have. We don't know what it means. So we're going to do low-hanging fruit, kind of obvious use cases. And then our goal is to figure out what's the business model transformation to see if there's a pony in there. Because they know there's other derivative opportunities, they just don't know what they don't know. So their first thing is to understand the data. like truly understand, not like they know their data, it's all formatted, and they know the schema and all the data. So with marketing, I see easy things for you guys to do. Is there an element of new things that are going to come in, new workflows? I have data, I got connectors into every system, I got my leads, got my demand gens, I got all this stuff going on, but as they have their existing data, there's going to be new opportunities. What are you guys seeing for that? How are marketing customers operationalizing their journey? Because you don't want to miss it. At the same time, you'd also want to nail some wins.
The core.
Yeah, get some wins, put the core foundation down. Is there a playbook that you see emerging for marketing leaders? Is it a technical thing? Is it a business logic? Is it data? I guess my question is, what's the progression? Because I think there's going to be new things coming, new workflows that some creative person will ideate and go, hey, I just have an idea that I can execute. I couldn't do this before, but with Jasper, this is now possible. Those are not yet known benefits until they know it.
Well, until they start iterating and really see the power of what the AI can do for them. So core business processes solutions. You've got SEO is dramatically evolving. You have account-based marketing and the expectations around personalization, observing, consumer-based patterns. Again, we're just talking about retail. You see multi-channel campaigns going out into the market to connect to customers and seeing what the benefits are. And then I think we see a lot of momentum in brand. So what I would expect over the coming year is an evolution of how marketers do that work on the platform, because agents in Jasper are going to be giving them recommendations to look at as they build trust. We're also going to be there for them to delegate to scale those campaigns in new and interesting ways. And we're going to drive it from the outcomes that they want to achieve from the campaign. So if you can tell AI, I want to make money or save money, I want the quality to be at this level, and I want the time to market to be within these ranges, then the power of the AI can really be in service of that. We can't do that without being connected to their data. So,
there's a technology play.
There is a technology play there. Again, it's in service of those workflows, though.
Yeah, and they have MarTech stacks that they all know needs a new injection of AI or data management in a new way.
That's right. And those MarTech stacks should continue to live. Jasper's system of record and intelligence sits on top of that.
And that's smart. Why would you throw away?
Why would we
abstract away the complexity in the software?
Right. Why would we try and build that?
It's like plumbing. You don't want to change it.
But we can also accelerate marketers. Think about competitive analysis. If Adidas' competitor is launching in some new way, Jasper, we're proactively going to do that analysis for that, present it to them, and inform the campaign that they're defining.
It's funny to see Salesforce is trying to take a similar approach, but I think that what you're getting at is that the stovepipes or silos that you've had with these MarTech connectors and databases can go away if you can put a layer on top.
That's right.
They can still coexist because you can use technology with AI, Jasper, to normalize, hey, this database, I don't need to worry about it being in a silo because I'm unifying it.
That's
I'm harmonizing the data, I'm unifying it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that sounds like what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so we're really trying to unify that, all of the MarTech, well, we're not trying to unify the MarTech, we're trying to integrate, harmonize. I love your,
harmonize.
As Melody is my name, harmonize the MarTech stack.
Yeah, it's so much less, it's cooler.
So
feels
much nicer,
non-threatening.
yes. And we all know.
We're going to interrogate that MarTech stack.
We all know, for people to adopt, it has to be better than what they have. And so AI on Jasper is really giving us the ability to create these abstraction layers where you provide value of what they're trying to do. They're trying to reach customers. They're trying to sell products.
Friction kills. Repeatability is a must.
Yeah.
You got to have frictionless repeatability and scale.
And scale is the last one.
It's the flywheel that you're used to.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question because we're having an event on February 10th and 11th in Palo Alto. CMO AI leaders, we're bringing CMOs in for 2 days. We're going to do a similar thing here for Media Week in Palo Alto. And we're going to have all the top CMOs come in. So I want to ask them a question. So Melody, give me a couple questions. What should I ask these CMO AI leaders? What they're working on, to kind of reveal their kind of orientation towards how they see the innovation strategy of the future, kind of peg where they are. What questions should I ask these CMOs?
I mean,
two or three solid questions.
Okay, this is a moment.
And I'll ask every one of them the question. If you're watching this, don't know it's coming.
I didn't get this. Yeah, okay. So I would ask, what are the 1 or 2 outcomes they want to achieve with adoption of AI in their organization. Because when I talk to customers, they are in the process of trying to determine what that is.
Yeah.
And those CMOs feel a lot of pressure to achieve
Yeah.
the ROI. Like, I do think 2025 is the year where whatever has been adopted has to achieve some return on investment. So what are those top 2 that they want to demonstrate for their companies?
Yeah.
AI is helping them achieve better outcomes. The second one would be, how do they want their teams and their organizations to change? No one's talking about
That's a good one.
the organizational change and the process changes of the skills and the people, because those are evolving right now with AI. And again, like the tech, we can build that, but having that connection of, on the ground adoption from their product marketers, how are the CMOs thinking about that?
Okay, so for AI leaders that you talk to that jump off the page, what would you say they exhibit in terms of personal traits, projects they're driving, their mindset or tactics, strategy, how, why they do things? What would be like a example of the archetype of like the leader? Like what jumps off the page when you talk to CMOs and other marketing leaders?
There are a couple of behaviors and attributes that I see of successful adoption. One is that the leaders are engaged. They are engaged in the success of the projects. They're engaged in the outcomes because it's so early. I mean, these teams are defining how they're going to work in the future. So the leaders are engaged. They want measurement. They want to look at the data. So they want to see what's happening on the platform. They want visibility into it. And the second thing is they're very practical. They tinker with the AI themselves. They try to be, hands-on, not just from guiding and directing the project, but measuring the results, the spend. I was at a dinner and talking to a CMO, and do you know what she said? She said, I have to tell you, Melody, I could probably share like how this feature helped us, but the bottom line is my team is happier using Jasper. It's happier, doing their work every day. Their morale is better. And I thought, wow, like, okay, there's something there.
Hey,
it's changing how they work.
Happiness, joy is a good feature.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I was talking to a developer, I was sharing the story. So what has AI done for you? He goes, I get more beer time. Now, beer's a favorite drink for most tech males. But what he meant was more time with his friends. Okay? And when people can spend more time with their family and or do creative work and get breakthroughs. So what happens when people have free time, they either make it a personal victory, a private life, or they apply it to creativity. And the tool is also a creative pick and a shovel.
That's right.
Why not? So you'll see things happen. And we're seeing that. And it's interesting.
I would also say, I would say like it's personal within the engineering team at Jasper, understanding our customers and understanding that everyone is experiencing churn. How can we make their lives easier and be more focused in what they need to do?
Okay, final question for you is, as CTO, Jasper AI, what's the 1 or 2 things you're going to do this year that's going to be, you're going to hang your hat on, say, I want to really nail this? And what 1 or 2 things should people know about that Jasper already does extremely well?
So what we do very well is we focus on those marketing assets. Bringing multimodal capabilities, bringing brand voice. You get that out of the box with the platform. Anyone can come to Jasper AI and experience that. And marketing is about reaching customers, it's about your brand. And it's about that brand being championed within all of the work that you do. So you talked a little about compliance earlier. How do you have the brand champion be embedded in every single piece of work that you do? So we do that really well. We're focused on marketers. It's just so much fun. The thing that we're working on this year is building this intelligence, or we call it IQ layer, so that we can really scale that with the customer's data, with best practices that are being formed in the platform, and bringing agentic workflows to that. So we start with the marketer workflows, and we're bringing agentic
So the
into
reason for that is to enable more agentic and more automation, or more...
to enable more creativity and scaling within marketing organizations. So I just want to go back to what you said a minute ago,
Yeah.
which is when the AI and the tools are in service of what you're creating every day, and you have more time now, you can delegate that task to
Yeah.
create that campaign to an agent,
Yeah.
and look at the results when they're done. Think about what the work turns into. Very
Having
creative,
fun?
very collaborative.
You like it there?
Very outcome based.
All
At
right,
Jasper,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get Jasper. Well,
Yeah.
we're small. We're not a real big marketing kit, but we've identified workflows with theCUBE that
Yes.
we have to do by hand first. We manually
Right.
construct the workflow,
Yeah.
and then we want to repeat this.
Yes.
So we want to get in that mode of, hey, here's how we want to do a LinkedIn post
Yes.
before we launch an event. What assets we want to have on those.
Yes.
Because right now it's manual and it's
We're
incoherent.
ready for you, John.
Okay.
We're ready
All
for
right.
you.
All right, how do people get started? What's the engagement look like? What's the use cases? SaaS, pay as you go, buy the drink. What's the buy the module? How do you guys evolve in the consumption?
Yeah, we
for
have
enterprise license.
Yes, enterprise license.
Yeah.
Working closely in the early stages of adoption. We also have trials that you can come to the platform. Anyone can kick the tires on
Yeah.
it, and different tiers. Very
So
similar.
pricing by volume of assets or?
By product tier.
Okay, tier.
Yeah.
Okay, by
And then we're launching some new
modules?
solutions. Yeah, modules this coming year.
Okay, got it.
So we'll
Okay,
price
cool.
by those as well.
Right,
Give
great.
people more options.
Great to see you. Thanks
Great
for coming on
to
theCUBE.
see you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we are here at the NYSE. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. Breaking it down, it's retail event in NRF is happening in New York City, and of course, AI is changing the game in retail. And again, marketing communications, and the brand experience is now integrated with AI, and we'll get more and more coverage. 3 days of coverage. Thanks for watching.